In the center of Kawachi Nagano City, Osaka, stands Ebushigata Castle, one of the 7 castles built by the samurai general Kusunagi Masashige. Midway up the mountain is the Ebushigata Hachiman Shrine, surrounded by dense trees, enshrined in solemnity. The main hall, designated as an important cultural property of Japan, is built in the Iramoya Zukuri style, and the roof is thatched with Hiwada, Japanese cypress bark. However, the Hiwada that was laid 35 years ago is now completely covered in moss, and the inner structure is severely deteriorated. Therefore, in 2001, under the supervision of the Association for the Preservation of Cultural Property Architecture Techniques, the rethatching of the Hiwada roof was undertaken. Before starting the work, a protective cover was constructed to completely enclose the main hall. The roof was completely covered in moss. The dismantling of the roof began with the removal of the ridge tiles. Well-preserved tiles were repaired and reused. Tile dismantling is the role of the tile craftsman. Removing the lowest ridge tile revealed the upper tiles made of Shingle wood. These upper tiles withstood the elements under the ridge tiles for 35 years. They fulfilled their role splendidly. With the ridge tiles removed, the dismantling of the Hiwada began in earnest. The dismantled Hiwada has no further use. Thus, dismantling was carried out boldly. The Hiwada was peeled off using crowbars. There, bamboo nails used to fasten the Hiwada were revealed. The dismantling progressed from top to bottom. Iron nails had to be removed one by one, but bamboo nails could simply have their protruding parts shaved off. For this roof repair, only the damaged eaves were to be repaired. These eaves were peeled off. In this way, the dismantling of Ebushigata Hachiman Shrine's Hiwada was completed. Some of the underlying sheathing boards and supporting rafters were found rotted after dismantling. Before rethatching with Hiwada, repairs had to be made to the damaged sections of the roof base. The season of Shichi-Gosan, a traditional rite for children, arrived once again at Ebushigata Hachiman Shrine. Despite the ongoing dismantling of the roof, devoted parishioners visited the shrine to pray. Around this time, repair work on the base roof of the main hall began. These repairs were not handled by the shrine carpenters but by the roofing craftsmen. Damaged rafters were removed and replaced. The curve called minoko was shaped by adjusting the sheathing boards. Unlike tiled roofs, these sheathing boards were spaced apart to prevent moisture buildup. The sound of peeling Hiwada bark echoed from the mountain behind the shrine. In the past, many shrines owned forests. For rethatching, bark and wood materials were sourced from these forests. Nowadays, roofing materials are often supplied by commercial vendors. Although Ebushigata Hachiman Shrine could not fully source its own Hiwada, it still offered a glimpse into the traditional practice of roof replacement. The rethatching of the Hiwada roof began. First was the replacement of the Yabara. Hiwada bark is always moistened before use. This prevents slipping and ensures a tight fit when driven in with bamboo nails. The Yabara. Thick, short, vertical strips of Hiwada are laid beneath the eaves. This style is known as Kuo-hi Yabara, the highest quality work in Hiwada thatching. To prevent loosening, both sides are pressed inward and the top is tapped. In this restoration, only the damaged Yabara was replaced. The protruding parts were trimmed with a plane. Smoothing the surface is a display of the artisan's skill. After completing the Yabara, decorative work was added. Thus, the rethatching of the Yabara was beautifully completed. Though purely decorative, the Yabara is produced through meticulous craftsmanship. This is surely the pride of the Hiwada artisans. Next is the rethatching of the eaves. The appropriately moistened Hiwada bark is layered onto the eaves. Nokitsuke refers to the technique of heavily overlapping bark, shingles, or thatch just at the eaves. The eaves are made of bamboo. The craftsman places the bamboo in his mouth, feeds it out tip first, and uses it to nail in the Hiwada. This is a technique unique to Hiwada craftsmen. Bamboo nails, once made from Madake bamboo. But in recent years, due to the scarcity of Madake, Mosadake bamboo is often used. This time, Madake was used, and the handmade process was documented. Yashiharu Ishizuka, a certified holder of preservation techniques, is the only bamboo nail craftsman remaining. His skills are now being passed down to his grandson, Kenichi. Kenichi is trimming the bamboo joints. With his resolve to inherit his grandfather's work, the art of bamboo nail making is passed to a new generation. The trimmed bamboo is first quartered. A step called owari, large splitting. Then it's further split into thin strips about 6 bushels, approximately 1.8 centimeters wide. This step is called kawari, small splitting. The thin strips are split into the green outer skin and the white inner part. This is called arahegi and requires more skill than it appears. Only the strong green outer skin is used for bamboo nails. The thickness of this skin determines the nail's diameter. After arahegi, the outer skin is split into uniform slivers, called higo. Each bamboo strip is split into 6 higo. This ensures consistent thickness in both vertical and horizontal dimensions. The higo are slightly twisted and placed on a wooden block to be shaved into shape with a knife. This shaping is done on all 4 sides. Through this process, the higo becomes rounded and shaped like a nail. It is a task that demands experience and finesse. After shaping the higo, they are cut to uniform length. This completes the bamboo nails. The bamboo is cut diagonally to form a pointed tip, and then cut flat and square for length. The length varies depending on the type of roofing, such as Hiwada or Kokera-buki. After cutting, the bamboo nails are sun-dried for 3 days to remove moisture. Then, they are roasted in a large pot. Roasting strengthens the nails and removes tiny splinters, making them easier to hold in the mouth. In the past, Hiada roofers made their own bamboo nails, but now, only Mr. Ishizuka produces them. At Eboshigata Hachiman Shrine, Nokitsuke work on the flat eaves began. The Hiwada is securely fastened with bamboo nails. In the final stage of Nokitsuke, each piece of bark is stacked carefully, with precise height adjustments. Since the eaves' curvature is determined in this step, repeated checks are essential. Once the eaves are completed, the ends are moistened. In Hiwada roofing, the bark is always kept moist during work. Then the ends are finished using a long blade. Even a slight error in the blade's contact point can ruin the appearance. Thus the eaves are completed, and the elegant curve is set. The uwame, upper rows, are now thatched. Since the Meiji period, copper flashing has been added above the eaves to shield from rain. The uwame is layered over that flashing. The uwame tiles are thick Hiwada pieces of uniform width. The ends are cut and angled on site to match the curvature of the eaves. The uwame is layered in sets of 4 to 6. This time, a 6-layered method was used. Each layer uses longer bark pieces to improve water resistance. This is another measure against rain infiltration. A special roofing hammer is used to drive in bamboo nails. This hammer includes a metal fitting called fusagane to help embed the nails. The roofer catches bamboo nails from his mouth with the fusagane, presses them into the bark, and hammers them in. The back of the roof is also thatched with uwame. To prevent water penetration, the uwame is overlapped alternately and trimmed. This careful process completes the uwame thatching. The eaves are the most vulnerable part of the roof to rain. They are firmly protected by the combination of uwame and flashing. 3/10 cut Hirakawa bark is brought to the site. It is layered in rows on top of the uwame. Each sheet is carefully stacked upward, one by one. The spacing between sheets, called fukiasi, is typically 4 bu, about 1.2 centimeters. After stacking 5 to 6 rows, bamboo nails are driven in. Usually, the work proceeds counterclockwise from the left corner. For a beautiful appearance, the underside of the bark is used facing up. Once the flat section reaches the right edge, the corners are thatched. The gable ends have a gentle curve called minoko. Therefore, raw bark from the torso of the tree is used in this area. The bark's width is trimmed into a curve to match. The layering is done diagonally relative to the gable. On Hiada roofs, the Minoko curve best expresses the elegance of the style. Kukuhi Shrine in Toyooka City, Hyogo Prefecture. This main hall, designated an important cultural property, uses Kokera-buki, thin shingle, roofing, estimated to have been built at the end of the Muromachi period. The Kokera roof was being rethatched for the first time in 30 years. The techniques for Kokera and Hiada roofing are fundamentally the same, and roofers must master both styles. Kokera is also fastened using bamboo nails. Kokera shingles used for Minoko are trimmed in a curve like Hiada bark. They are also layered diagonally along the gable. Through this rethatching, Kukuhi Shrine will regain its former beauty. At Eboshigata Hachiman Shrine, work is also proceeding smoothly. As the roof layers move upward, the thickness is adjusted by using half-cut bark and gradually increasing the overlap length. Keeping the overlaps even is very important. If the width varies, the roof's appearance suffers and water infiltration becomes more likely. Hiada craftsmen use a special triangular stool. Called a nakayere, this stool serves as both a seat during work and as a platform for placing tools and bark. The Hiada thatching has reached the Minoko section at the ridge. The curved lines of the front and back of Minoko meet at the upper edge. Such complex sections can only be beautifully shaped thanks to the pliability of Hiada bark. Even in Hiada or Kokera thatching, the ridge, called mune, is finished with tiles or copper sheeting. Before that, a component called shinanoki is thatched to support it. The same type of bark used for the eaves is also used here. Shinanoki is also an important decorative element. The tips of the stacked shinanoki are trimmed with a rebar blade. Since the height of the ridge depends on the thickness of this layer, its level is checked repeatedly. Once the shinanoki's height is set, the uppermost layer, uwame, is added. The uwame fully covers the top of the shinanoki to ensure no rainwater seeps in. With this, the Hiada thatching is finally complete. The final step, trimming the ends of the shinanoki. Done with the practiced hands of skilled artisans. The finished Hiada is never damaged in this step. The intricate techniques of Hiada craftsmanship are fully demonstrated. March 2001, Heisei 13, the dismantling and restoration of the Hiada roofing on Eboshigata Hachiman Shrine's main hall was completed successfully. The elegant yet durable roof style of Kokera-buki revealed its splendid form. The decorative kuohi Yabara, the water diverters, and the upper layers harmonized beautifully. The overlapping sections were evenly spaced, and the minoko displayed graceful curves. Hiada-buki. This unique Japanese roofing technique is a crystallization of our nation's cultural heritage. The Kokera-buki roofing of Kokuhi Shrine's main hall was also completed. Unlike the Hiada-buki, it expresses a refreshing beauty through the natural grain of the wood. Many shrines across Japan use Hiada or Kokera for their roofs. But being made of plant-based materials, their lifespan is short. Still, for us Japanese, their elegant appearance is an irreplaceable cultural treasure. In our country blessed with rich natural forests, we have always cherished trees and developed a culture that fully integrates wood into daily life. The techniques of thatching with Hiada or Kokera are at the very foundation of the culture the Japanese people have nurtured. These excellent, uniquely Japanese techniques will undoubtedly continue to protect and preserve our long-standing cultural heritage.